Welcome back to the channel everyone, it's Tom here, and today I'm diving into the highly anticipated sequel that's coming up this year, Frostpunk 2. But before we get started, I just want to take a moment to express my gratitude. A big thank you to my brother Luke for running the channel so amazingly while I was busy with the birth of my first child. Your dedication and hard work have kept our community engaged, and I really appreciate this. Now let's jump back to Frostpunk 2. Released more than 5 years ago, the original game Frostpunk thrust players into an apocalyptic snowstorm, challenging them to manage their society under extreme pressure. Now 11-bit Studios is back with Frostpunk 2, set 30 years after the events of the first game. While survivors are eager to rebuild civilization, the studio have warned that progress remains fragile and the challenges are going to be as brutal as ever. Before we delve into everything we know about Frostpunk 2, I just want to remind you all to show your support by giving the video a like. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment with your thoughts. We always want to connect with LT gamers and what you think. And of course, feel free to subscribe if you enjoy our content and you want to sign up for some more. Your support really means the world to us, and we are absolutely delighted with the progress on the channel. Now, without further ado, let's explore what Frostpunk 2 has in store for us. Frostpunk 2 builds upon the frozen, post-apocalyptic world introduced in the first game, where players are tasked with managing a city of settlers in a town near London during the Industrial Revolution. In the original Frostpunk, cataclysmic environmental events have led to ice storms ravaging most of humanity. Players must maintain generators for heat while making constant trade-offs to keep their citizens fed, housed, and above all alive. The motto of the game is the city must survive, as letting the generator die means certain freezing death for the remaining inhabitants. Set 30 years after the events of the first game, Frostpunk 2 takes these core ideas and amplifies them. The city has endured, and the motto is now the city must not fall. The top-down design of the city remains vivid and picturesque, but the gameplay trailers that I've seen reveals more sophisticated UI features in the building layout, hinting at new heating technologies, and generator technology seems to have evolved to run on oil, but these upgrades are coming at a price. In Frostpunk 2, players have to navigate the political conflict and worker rebellions. Workers now have the agency to challenge the player decisions, as seen in the voting mechanics showcased in the gameplay trailers. Inside a civic building, workers vote on issues such as equal pay and things like that. Narrative flashpoints emerge as citizens voice specific demands or complaints, adding a very real human element to the game. For example, I saw one where a miner named Ian McTavish is demanding accountability for promised homes. Perhaps the most chilling aspect of this sequel is the humanization of the working population. Players will face consequences of their choices as they struggle to maintain order and survival in the face of mounting challenges. Frostpunk 2, there seems like there's going to be no easy choices, and the players must grapple with the brutal realities of leadership in this post-apocalyptic world. In Frostpunk 2, while players will still grapple with the weight of their choices, like in the original, significant changes promise to refresh the experience while staying true to the core elements that fans fell in love with. 11-bit Studios aims to balance innovation with familiarity, leveraging lessons learned from the original game to create something both new and yet still familiar. The people of your civilization are the lifeblood of your city, but they come with their own challenges and factions. In Frostpunk 2, players will encounter various factions with differing views on how society should operate. For example, engineers may advocate for technological solutions to problems, while foragers may prioritize traditional methods. Each choice will come with its own set of advantages and consequences, of course, forcing the player to adapt and navigate the complexities of societal management. Furthermore, player decisions can lead to factional conflict and unrest. Choosing to support one faction may alienate another, requiring players to carefully manage relationships and balance competing interests. Failure to do so could result in factions rising against your rule, creating a volatile environment in the post-apocalyptic wasteland. Despite the challenging nature of Frostpunk 2, the game is going to be designed to allow for adaptation and escape from failure. By listening to your citizens and improving their lives, players will be able to steer their society towards success. However, even seemingly benevolent decisions can have unforeseen consequences, highlighting the delicate balance between progress and sacrifice. Frostpunk 2 also addresses fan feedback by introducing open-ended modes, which was a major gripe of mine with the original. I felt it lacked some replayability. So they are expanding gameplay options while retaining the game's narrative depth. The developer aims to provide players with this strategic depth and replayability elements without sacrificing some of the unique narrative-driven experience that made Frostpunk. Ultimately, it looks like Frostpunk 2 is going to offer a challenging yet thought-provoking gameplay experience, where success will not be defined by one efficient resource management aspect, but instead also on navigating moral dilemmas and societal tensions. As co-director and design director Jakub Stolkowski explains, the game aims to challenge players' worldviews and beliefs, offering a nuanced and immersive journey into the heart of survival and society. One thing that is very apparent is that Frostpunk 2 is going to introduce a larger scale, with playthroughs spanning months and years compared to the days and weeks of its predecessor. There's also going to be the new council mechanic that adds depth over this long-term outlook, allowing players to pass laws and shape their society as it goes. However, of course, garnering support for desired policies is going to be challenging, leading to tough negotiations and potentially unrealistic promises. So balancing your progress with these consequences is going to become a central theme that adds complexity to the gameplay. And while Frostpunk 2 offers intriguing systems for societal management, I do have some concerns. It is going to look to be a rather bleak game, and it is going to face a lot more stiff competition from other city builders. So despite the original success, we do have upcoming builders like Manor on the horizon, and also amazing existing options such as Against the Storm that have just been released. And I do feel the grim atmosphere of Frostpunk 2 may deter me and potentially some other players from investing in extensive hours, as I'm not really going to feel that cozy vibe I do like with a city builder. So I just hope that it does have some cozy elements to it, and it's not just this constant struggle against the grim environment that you're surrounded by. Just a personal thing of mine, and I'm not sure if people will connect or agree on that point. As we eagerly await the release of Frostpunk 2 LT Gamers, it is clear that 11-bit studios have crafted a sequel that expands upon the original's foundation while introducing new layers of depth and complexity. With much larger scale and introduction of mechanics like the Council, players are definitely be faced with tough decisions and moral dilemmas as they strive to shape their society. However, amidst this anticipation, I do have some concerns about as I said, the grim setting and possibly the competitive landscape of the city building genre. Is Frostpunk 2 going to stand out amongst the crowd of upcoming and existing titles in 2024? Only time will tell there. Regarding one thing, Frostpunk 2 is going to be available on multiple platforms, including Steam, Epic, and I believe is a day one release on Xbox Games Pass, so it's going to have a huge amount of people exposed to it. So whether you're a seasoned survivor of the original or newcomer to the frozen wasteland, get ready for a journey of survival, strategy, and societal upheaval in Frostpunk 2. That's all for this video, LT Gamers. I hope you've enjoyed this preview of a game I'm very excited to try. If you have, please consider subscribing to our journey, and of course drop us a like and comment, for the YouTube algorithm is always greatly appreciated. Alright guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye now.